Hello. How's everybody doing? Andy, am I inviting you under Tallulah, Ohio?
I don't even see that you're live.
Okay. I am live right now. It may take a second for TikTok to let everybody know that I'm live. Hey y'all, it's Hallie Q. And hey Clarence. Hate to serve with. How are you doing? Welcome to the new Hoodoo Live. When I'm by myself, I am just Hallie Q, or hey, it's Hallie Q. But when I'm with my sister, and there she is, Tallulah, Ohio joined. And I am going to add her. Let's see if I can add her as a guest. And let's see if she accepts. So, y'all, this is very special tonight. My sister is going to be joining me tonight. My sister's joining me tonight for a special edition of the New Hoodoo podcast live. We got a couple of hot topics we've been wanting to talk about for a while. And let's see if we can get her. She has been invited. Andy, it says you've been invited.
Yeah, I'm trying to hit the button. It won't let. It's not doing anything.
Oh, and we're just trying to see if we can go live from a few different places. Hey, how are y'all doing? Hey, Island Girl. Hey, Rose. Welcome in. Welcome in. Come on in. I'm Hallie Q Hannah. Y'all know me as a thought creator and a content creator for Black women in the 92%. Tonight, I am trying to arrange a special live. Oh, let me see if I can find my. I'm trying to um, invite my sister up with me tonight. So I'm going to see if I can get her up here. There's Tallulah Hoya. I'm going to accept. And let's see if we can bring her on. I think she's going to come on. I really want y'all to meet my sister. She's right there. Andy, you ready to turn on the camera? Oh my gosh,
Ooh,
y'all,
you
I'm
don't give
so
me two
excited.
seconds to do something. Hey,
Hey, everybody. Hey, do y'all see my sister? We're so excited. We're trying to go. So Andy, I see your static face, but I don't see it moving. And let me see if I can turn the camera on. Camera. Let's see if I can get it going. Hi. Oh, hey, thank you for your heart. Everybody come on in. Thank you for getting the hearts going. Y'all know it lets TikTok, it lets the algorithm know that we're having a conversation. And I'm just trying to bring my sister on. Hey, Lolo. Oh, thank you. Thank you guys for coming on in and getting your daily heart me. Andy, introduce yourself to the people.
I'm Andy. I am a candle maker. I'm also her sister. Having a couple of. Hold on, Q. I'm trying to get my camera set up. Hold
Yeah.
on.
I think
All
all
right,
we
here we
have to do is, hey
go.
guys, come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome on in. I'm Hallie Q. I know it's been a while since I've been live, but I didn't want to come. There she is. Is that her beautiful face? There she is. I'm so happy, y'all. This is such a monument. This is such a monumental occasion. We've been wanting to do this forever to finally go live together on TikTok. And I think now, do I see your beautiful face?
Can you see me?
I did for a hot second.
You keep acting like you seeing it like you can't see me
No,
because I
I
can
can't.
see you.
You can, you can. I can't
Yeah.
see you on TikTok. Let me see if I can do something different. I definitely see us here at Riverside. I know we're live over on the tube. That is you. Welcome, y'all. Welcome to the new Hoodoo podcast. Ah, hey Memphis K, thank you for coming on in and getting your daily heart me. Welcome everybody, and welcome to my little sister Andy, aka Tallulah Ohio. Andy is, in addition to being one of my favorite people on earth, she is also an attorney, and we are Andy, my sister and I. The first time we ever did a podcast was together.
Oh my
Um,
gosh. I was thinking about that the other day. It was during at one point we were like some of us were still at home. I remember that because it was like me and you and Megan and Kayla. So I wanted to think that was like before it was like pre-COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was definitely pre-COVID, and but we really got into it during COVID. And y'all, we decided we wanted to have a podcast where we talked about our spiritual walk. Andy kind of kicked us into a new spiritual dimension. We had this real spiritual longing, and but felt that
We
we're
became heathens.
yeah, we became heathens, and we decided just to reach down into the ancestral bucket and change our spirituality into something that made sense. And so we called our podcast the new Hoodoo. And we are both, Andy, try one time to get your camera going because I don't see you on.
I'm seeing me. I don't
You're
know.
seeing you? Okay, great. So maybe I just can't see. Okay, whatever. Like, let's not even. All right, I'm not even gonna worry about it
I
then.
see you. You see me. Can the
There
people
you
see me?
I don't know. Y'all let me know. Y'all get in the chat and let me know if y'all can see if y'all can see Andy Pandy. I thought there were a couple of things. Oh, y'all, and thank you for coming on in and getting your daily heart me. We appreciate it so much. Oh my gosh,
I
well,
can't see her either.
yeah,
I see, but I can't.
yeah, I don't know why we can't. Yeah, let's see if
Okay, let me try again.
Let me see if I can expand this. Let's see what happens. It says your live is paused. There you are. Now I can see you. I see you fine. Can you see
All
me?
right.
Okay,
Yes.
yes, yay, let's go. Yeah, this is my little sister. Y'all know I'm the oldest. I count as I claim 6. I'm the oldest of 6 sisters, including my cousin Tracy, who was raised with us, and my sister Andy. Oh my gosh, welcome y'all. I'm so glad everybody's here. This is wonderful. Come on in. We're about to have a little conversation because there's some stuff in the zeitgeist. And so the name of our podcast is The New Hoodoo. It has been a while since we have done an episode, but we decided we were going to make it a video podcast. So in that we were going to do our best to do it live because we both have kind of busy schedules. Andy's is much busier. Than mine. So we just wanted to make the most of every moment. So we said, you know what? Andy always said when we first started the podcast, Andy said she didn't want it to be scripted. She wanted it to be a conversation. And so we thought, like, what better way to go back and to just go back and get back into our love and energy of the podcast than to go live. So Andy, tell everybody, say hey, and let's get ready to get into our topic. Actually, why don't I let you introduce? You want to introduce our topic?
So we're doing some Hoodoo Hot Topics.
Yes.
Hoodoo Hot Topics can consist of many things. It can be Hoodoo topics that are coming up in the general, pop culture. So, for instance, I saw someone in the comments that was like, "Have you seen Sinners? We're gonna talk about that, but not tonight because that deserves some." One of the duo had her kids with this weekend, so I haven't seen Sinners. I'm going tomorrow after work.
I saw it yesterday, and I cannot wait for Andy to see it so we can jump into it. Andy, it was in a lot of ways, cinematically, it was a love letter to Mississippi. Girl, they managed to make the Delta look unbelievably beautiful. It was wonderful. So we're gonna get to that. But there were a couple of topics this week we wanted a chance to chit chat on.
And what I was going to say is, if most people don't know that I am a Marvel fanatic, so I fell in love with the director before Black Panther, because he did Fruitvale Station, which was so moving as a 24-year-old. So I love that for a lot of reasons, just because, it's especially now on TikTok when they're showing clips of him like behind the scenes and him with the cast.
Yep.
Like it's wonderful that this movie is African American. It's wonderful that it's from the Deep South. It's also very Choctaw, if we didn't know, if we have not seen it. So it represents a lot for me. But to actually just see him as a young director come up and getting his due and being so successful, and he is so passionate about this project and just the way it was made, and just I love to see how I love to see people geek out on whatever their passion is. And I guess that's just my ADHD and like my tism a little bit, that I just love to see people geek out about very specific things. So Oakland native too. He from Metro Way, but he's got family roots in Mississippi too. So I'm excited.
Yeah, like it's just this is. Yeah, I was so, Andy. That's interesting to talk about, like when you've moved away from Mississippi, because Andy and I were born and raised. Indeed, all of our sisters were born and raised in Mississippi, and we're all we're all scattered now, right? So. Me in California, 2 sisters.
Caitlin's still at home somewhat because she teaches. So
that's true. Okay, so still like Louisiana, Mississippi, still.
Yeah.
And in Denver, Colorado, and Nikki in Georgia. But girl, like it made me so grateful to be from Mississippi. I'm always grateful to be who I am and where I'm from, girl. But I've
lived there as an adult, so I have. I think I have different feelings.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
But
he has very different feelings about it. Okay.
And I've raised children there, which will absolutely, if you have to deal with the educational system now, not when we were there in the 80s. I think we've always been lucky too, and I think that we have to be honest and say we came from for what Mississippi is concerned, was a booming metropolis.
Mhm.
It had a college, it had a military base. Um, it still is only about 30,000 people at the most. I live in a suburb outside of San Antonio that's about that size. But also, too, we were just very lucky to also be from a part of Mississippi where there was a really strong, close knit, um, an educated African American like layer of our community that just were really committed to making sure we knew our history and we knew where we came from, and we're only a generation from segregation.
Yeah.
So a lot of people forget that. I think people think of Mississippi like when I went to college, everybody was like Mississippi burning. I was like, that's in the '60s, right?
Yeah, it's a long time.
So I love it when people tell our cultural stories in a way that has us centered,
Yeah.
because a lot of times it's only our tragedy centered. And I know this is a horror movie, but we don't look at our tragedies and our stories as a part of a bigger fabric. We have a tendency to kind of, me and Halki was talking about these slave novels. We'll get into that in a bit, but
And speaking
yeah.
of slave novels, let's
So
just
what we're talking about, I got off topic.
let's what we
We're talking about Hoodoo Hot Topics. So one of the hot topics that we wanted to talk about, because sometimes it can be pop culture, sometimes it could just be tomfoolery and shenanigans. Because if we know something, if someone shenanigans once,
tonight we're
Shannon Sharp.
in shenanigans. Yeah, Mr. Shannon Sharp. And Andy, I'll just read you the latest update from NBC News. Shannon Sharp stepping aside from ESPN in wake of sexual assault lawsuit. I will be devoting this time, quote, I will be devoting this time to my family and responding and dealing with these false allegations set against me, the Hall of Fame football great says. Football great Shannon Sharp said Thursday. Anyway, he's going to be stepping aside. And Shannon, y'all's Uncle Shay Shay, who is in the middle of negotiating a $10 million contract, I think, for his podcast, has allegedly been involved or began a relationship with a 19-year-old, someone 35 years, his junior. And she has now, what does it say? She has now sued him. Andy, what is it? She says that she was 19-year-old when she first met Sharp in a LA gym, which led to a rocky consensual relationship of nearly 2 years in which he was frequently aggressive and allegedly SA'd her, according to the Clark County civil complaint. And Andy, it has caused a firestorm of allegations, but mostly what it's helped me realize, especially when I learned about the $100 million contract for the podcast, we need more Black women on Beyonce's internet. We need more Black women's voices, because this is ridiculous. There's so many things that are effed up and wrong. When you first heard about this, what was your first reaction?
I think this was it was funny to me is that you go back. The first thing I did was, first of all, none of this ever surprises me with this type of celebrity, because what we have to remember, that's why I was saying the part about before we crossed over was, you shenan once, you probably going to shenan again. And this is not a first time for Shannon Sharp. He has been accused of this before.
Yeah.
NFL is rampant with not just accusations, but players that have been convicted of this kind of thing. I think the thing that rocked me the most is, I don't understand how you can get to a certain level of success and race play is something, especially with a child, because I think we have to think about this. I have a 16-year-old, I have a 23-year-old.
Yeah.
A 19-year-old is a child.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry. And we as a community, that's where this conversation, our conversation should start there, is that not only do our voices need to drown us out, we need to restructure this conversation. Uncle Shay Shay is now a weird uncle, period.
Yeah.
It's one thing to put your hands on grown people that are your age, but this is a kid.
Yeah, and it just this also happening around the same time that the NFL draft is happening. And Andy has sons, and one of my nephews actually was because he's a huge, beautiful, athletic young man, and he, the football team very much wanted him, and he played for a little while. But I'll never forget when you decided, hey, Capricorn, y'all welcome. Y'all welcome. Hey, Cap, this is a very welcome, everybody. This is a very special live with my sister, Andy Anderson. Y'all know Andy and I are the original podcasters. Like the first time we ever even I conceived of doing a podcast, I did it with my sister. It's called The New Hoodoo. It's where we talk about our spiritual walk. And what we like to do sometimes is take a step away from strictly spiritual topics and talk about foolishness. Like, talk about foolishness and mess. And this week we really wanted to talk because Andy literally left me a message to get. She was like, I need for us to get on and talk about how awful the men are being right now. Like just 8-ish. Like it's between Kanye got the week started, and then Uncle Shay like brought up the rear. So Andy and I wanted to come on. And when it's just me, I'm Halaku. Hey, it's Halaku. When it's just Andy by herself, she's Tallulah Ohoyo. But together we're the New Hoodoo. And tonight we're talking about some foolishness. So welcome, y'all. Thank you for coming on in. Thank you all for almost getting us up to 3,000 hearts. We appreciate it so much. Thank you for coming in to get your daily heart me. Y'all follow my sister. And please be chiming in on the conversation. I'm going to be checking and keeping an eye.
And y'all will learn real soon who the TikTok guru is and who the number 2 is. So thank you for your engagement and participation. Yeah.
Black Beauty says if you listen to the recorded voice calls with Shannon, this girl, she clearly, yes, she's an She's an OnlyFans worker, and I just wanted to be said to me and Andy that we ain't got no problem with like.
Oh, and let me tell you, because I had a lecture. I had a lecture with my son, which was hilarious. I told my sister this. My office frequently gives free giveaways, and I got VIP tickets or something. My 16-year-old was like, "You're not selling pictures of your feet, are you?" I'm like, "Mom," I was like, "No, but let's talk about sex workers. Yeah. That's a legitimate industry. It can be an industry unless there's a demand. And so for me, that makes you." Because, look, let me tell you what my message is. Girls, get your bag.
Yeah. Like
these gentlemen have now chosen the second part of their lives to come find you young ladies, right? He has been on podcasts saying why he has selected you young ladies. If you have not seen him with Chad Ochocinco. So let me tell y'all this. I am an auntie that is never going to hate on y'all. Get your bag, sis. Get your bag, sis. But just be aware that when things cross over to the dark side, which they often do with men who feel that women are disposable this way, this is where you're going to end up. And as a society, I just think, like Halaku said, we got to start having these conversations because we have to look out for those young women who were us, that were really flattered that someone rich and famous or whatever wanted to have us in their sphere, knowing full well that their intent was to use us and discard us. Right?
Well, and also, I guess I'm not going to speak to his morality as a person, having daughters myself. Like she was an OnlyFans, like she was an OnlyFans creator, I think is what we call her. But the reason we have something to say about this, and the reason we get to have something to say about it, is because he brought us into the chat.
Yes.
And he has been very vocal, going on record, talking about bitter Black women angry at him and hating on him because he doesn't date people his own age. He brought us into the conversation. We wouldn't have known, I don't know if I would have known nothing about this. I mean, I think he is a very mid podcaster. I understand that he was in the Hall of Fame and all of that, but like the stuff he said about Megan Thee Stallion, the way he talks about, like, he brought us into the conversation, like Black women to the conversation. And then when he got busted and the girl came after him for her money because she had Kat, thank you so much. Y'all, thank you so much. Thank you. He brought it to us, trying to get ahead of it, try to play the whole thing out. That's how we even know about it, because he made a statement and he released text messages that were very salacious in nature, and that, quite honestly, I would have loved to stay out of.
There is a theory out there. And this is what the streets say. I'm going to let that be my disclaimer, is that this happens every so often because this is all a big effort to like control this narrative about his sexuality. I don't know.
Yeah.
Me and Halleck, you had a conversation about that and this is one of those things because I'm an ally.
Yeah.
I understand and I can definitely empathize with the society that we have all grown up with that made that necessary at a certain point, but we don't live there anymore.
Yeah.
The people that you are afraid of disappointing are your own peers. Like, you're not afraid of the police persecuting you. You're not afraid of people throwing rocks at you in the middle of the street. We've got actually more than a handful now of openly gay NFL players that are doing the damn thing. And you know what's funny? Nobody's talking about it because when it comes down to football, nobody really cares, right? If they're gay, as long as they're running the ball. This only matters to y'all.
Yeah.
Like, it's a self-hate thing, which I think we still need to talk about in a way that it doesn't matter for me why you keep putting this business out in the street. All I know is whether it was the former, the basketball wives lady, I'm sorry, or this 19-year-old.
Yeah.
You're exposing these women when...
Okay.
I want to be quite frank. I'm surprised you caught him in the first place.
Black Beauty says, it's a good perspective. Thank you for this, Black Beauty. Black Beauty says he may pull a Jonathan Majors and try to get a black woman to gain his good reputation, I don't think he's going to do it. He has been so vociferously, like, kind of anti like black woman, or at least black woman his age, or how about like black woman age 35 on up. He said famously, because all these clips are going back around now, he said in a way that I have to say was very, very, very zesty. And I enjoy a little zest. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely do. But the way he said it, he was like, well, how about this? I don't want to date my age. I want to date my wage. Like, and I'm like, oh, Mr. Sharp, like, okay, I think I don't know if he's going, I don't know if he's going to do it. And if you were the black woman that he chooses to do this and to come back out there and try to get back into good graces, get paid. Like, there's a new moon in Taurus tonight. Set your intention. Set your intention and get your money.
Put that on the altar.
Please go ahead and get your money. Like, if that's what you're going to do, if you're going to be the Megan Good to Jonathan Majors. Oh my God, Andy, did you just see the clips? Because like Cat Williams told him. Cat Williams.
And pointed to him while he told him. Like, straight up.
Oh my gosh. Cat Williams has a way of you could tell Cat is really a pro. I've been a fan of Cat for a long time. Cat has a way of, when he's being interviewed on that show, of looking at
the person he is
at him, but at the camera at the same time, as to be like, you see what I'm telling you?
Which is a talent.
It's a talent, like it really is. But Andy, so also considering what's going on and and Andy, I can't even pretend to talk about American football with any kind of authority, like at all. Like our family back in Mississippi is very much into football. I don't know if we always been into football. Like, I feel like that's something everybody got into like when I went off to college. So what I don't know about American football could fill several books, but I feel like there have been some parallels in conversation about the transfer of black wealth. Because when it comes down to the real pity of this Shannon Sharp situation, and obviously we don't know what arrangements he's made for the disbursement of his money when he's no longer here, or what
the courts are making some plans about the disbursement of his money. I know that.
In this one lawsuit, Shannon Sharp, he was negotiating $100 million. Like, talk about the reason black people have had so much problem with developing generational wealth. Like, if we consider if one of the ways that we've been able to get out to accumulate wealth by doing it through entertainment, through athletics, in this one situation, he's about to have this massive transfer of wealth, like from his own black family. This woman may end up getting more money than he's even able to leave his daughters. And it's just so upsetting to me. And I wanted to bring it up, and the parallel. Can you hear me, Andy?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
I'm listening.
Okay, cool. And also thinking about, because somebody asked today, looking at the draft. Did you watch any of the NFL draft stuff? Like,
No, like I watched the clips that were talking about particular players that that they were just talking about the layout, and I watched all the funny clips about it. I don't watch particular players and like particular teams because I'm like you. I was always a basketball fan growing up in college, so.
Well, so with the conversation, well, whenever the NFL draft, take
the combine, all those things,
So take the young man that was in the news and kind of dominated the news. His name is Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
Girl, he's so beautiful.
He is gorgeous.
He definitely gives young Prince, and we can talk about that too, and about how, like they're saying, because they were previously in discussions, he was supposed to go in first, second round of first or second round at very least. But there was all this controversy about why, the owners trying to make an example out of him because, he kind of comes from a wealthy, affluent family. He is a father that is very much involved in his life. And so this was also in line with conversations because another creator on here, another Black woman said, what is it about this picture? Why is this the picture that we see during the NFL draft? It's always a young Black man, a young white woman, that's the girlfriend, sitting off to the side, and the mom and some of the family members in the background. And she's like, why do we always see this? Why is this what is created? And so she was talking about the generational wealth slowly dwindling out of the out of the community. And I thought that was one of the thank you.
And let's be clear, that is strategic. Because those girls are taught going into college that's the goal.
Wait, say it again.
Right? I said, and that's strategic because those young ladies are taught from a young age going into college that's the goal.
Yeah.
To lock down the bag. Like a marriage is an investment.
Yeah.
More so than it is, I've even heard people say, romance is a luxury of the poor. Right? Yeah. That when that's why arranged marriages with royalty and a lot of this stuff happens because it's very strategic to keep wealth in a certain population. Yeah. And so I hate to say it, it's very strategic, especially when the pool of financial resources change. That just becomes another financial pool and resource that becomes available at these colleges and universities. How you went to an Ivy League school that was up north. I went to a big I went to a big sports school that was in an area of the country.
She doesn't want to say where it is, but she went to Duke.
I went to Duke University.
She went to Duke.
So, if you've ever read the book by Tom Wolfe, what is it? I Am Charlotte Simmons, that's true.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah. I could not believe that you were actually letting me know and confirming all the stuff I always wondered about those schools. But Andy, I also think I had some ideas on this today. I hope I'm not going to get us in trouble, but I had some ideas on why is that? Why do owners because they're doing it for a reason, that whole
yeah.
And I got some ideas on it. I got some theories on it. Shawnee said, I was just telling my mom this today. I was trying to figure out how to pin the comment. I have a theory about that. I think that when they see this picture, that it lets the coaches know, because what do all the owners and the coaches have? A little white woman sitting beside them that run their life, that been, they
think they're like us.
Exactly. And I think that they think that okay, and we know we got somebody that will that will do whatever needs to be done to keep him playing and delivering. And I know we know how to talk to her. We know when we need to manipulate, when we need to bring in or whatever, when we need to try to get him through these negotiations, we know we got somebody that we can talk to. We also have somebody who, this is just when it gets nasty. I don't want to say this is.
Well, they know how to steer things in a way that these owners want.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, they're a part of the machine. And I know that because I went to college with them. Mm-hmm. They're there. Yeah. And they're the ones that, because I was problematic because I didn't get it. Yeah. I'm not going to say his name, some player that you happen to be dating was super popular on the team. Because you have to understand, when I went to Duke, they had the three shittiest years in college basketball imaginable because Coach K was having back surgery. So as much as they get fawned over, I would be the one that's like, "Good dog, you lost." Like it's there is a culture of girls that will wait outside the game for 6 hours, that will, that think instead of, you taking me on a decent date, me getting to go to this basketball game is a thing. And it becomes a machine. The school is built around it. They get special dorm, they get special rooms, they get special transportation. Like everything in the culture in campus is built around elevating them as celebrity status.
Yeah.
Right? So the girls become, if y'all have not seen He's Got Game by Spike Lee, you might want to take a look at that, because I think that is a good, it's the basketball genre, but it's really a good explanation of how those different players come. They usually have somebody embedded in the neighborhood telling them where to go to school and where to go. They have somebody from a state university that's trying to angle to get them to, come to a state university. And ultimately, you got to think about it. With certain spouses, that money might be guaranteed to come back into the NFL, depending on who they marry, right? So it's also owners controlling their investments.
Yeah. Because I was thinking, I was like, that's why that happens. That's something that makes sense to them, that they can identify. They know that, and also, and I'm like, in that they don't have any problem.
I think the one thing that's changing, though, is that women now are feeling empowered to say, just because I'm an OnlyFans model, and this is one thing where I got to cheer on this young lady, just because I'm an OnlyFans model, just because I'm a sex worker, does not mean I deserve to be sexually assaulted or mistreated, or to have my personal business broadcasted like this because you have decided, because I think this reverse Uno'd on him, to be quite honest with you. I think that he thought he was going to paint a certain picture of this young lady that was going to shut this down and force her to take some type of negotiated settlement. And people are choosing not to be silenced.
I could not believe when the text messages came out, because I literally, between the Kanye being crazy this last week, talking about Ken. Did you hear about that? Did you?
Yes, girl.
I was just like, why do y'all bring us? Like, why did we have to notice? Why did y'all have?
I want to know less about both of these men this week.
I don't want to know anything about this. And what did you think by sharing these text messages about race play? Because I know he did it thinking I'm going to get to jump, I'm going to get to jump on it. Everybody's going to know what kind of, who I spend my money on and where I spend my time and who I'm so proud of dating. Like, he could have really kept us out of it. But this happening at the same time, it was happening with like the NFL draft, giving me an idea of, right, okay, this is where this young man, this young man, Jesus, he's older than us, Andy. He's like 56, 57.
Yeah. This ain't a young person.
This is the culture that he has, the culture that he's come from. It also brought up conversation too. And y'all, how's everybody doing? Y'all, welcome. This is the new.
Hi,
everybody. This is my sister, Andy Tallulah Ahoyo. When she is doing her thing here on TikTok, she is either Tallulah Ahoyo, which is her business. She's a intuitive channeler, or she's on here as Oyaz Blade. Y'all know me. I'm Halaki when I'm on here, but when we are together on Beyonce's internet, we are the new Hoodoo. We are the new Hoodoo podcast. And we are starting to record the podcast live. So y'all are here for the kind of podcast that we love to do, which is Hoodoo Hot Topics. Because there's a spiritual element to all of this. And in general, even though I've got 3 beautiful nephews, and we love our dad, we love our Uncle Junior. In general, we don't be talking about men's business. Like, we don't really care. We're not really.
Well, and I think it's a part of decentering. Yeah. I think a lot of us are in our process of decentering. Yeah. But in our family, I will tell you this, I have to explain to people, because we kind of come from a very matriarchal. Yeah. Like, our grandpa was very present, but like the women in our family were very vocal. A lot of them had late stage separations from their primary spouse. So I just think it's hilarious as someone who's going through a divorce right now, is that it is hilarious to me that these older gentlemen, because this also ties into this conversation about Tracy Ellis Ross.
Yeah.
And the conversation that she had online this week that I would like to talk about in conjunction to this.
Yeah.
And it was that she quite frankly stated that because of the attitudes and some of the treatment that she has received from men in her own age cohort, she finds that, she prefers to date younger men.
Yeah.
And that's who she finds herself being gravitated towards. Yeah. And so there have been these commentators that look like the bottom of your shoe, but quite frankly, literally, this man had on a juicy couture sweatsuit that I wanted in 1998 and had all the audacity stones to be able to talk about Tracy Ellis Ross, saying that these are young men taking advantage of her. Just like there are young men taking advantage of older men out in the neighborhood. And I wanted to say, okay, well, let's pause. Is that the truth, though? Are young women taking advantage of older men, or are older men taking advantage of women who don't have the benefit of experience, protection, independent resources? Because we heard Shannon Sharp say exactly why he chooses younger women as mates. So for me, it's also, too, just the hypocrisy. Yeah. That now that women are older and celebrities and have chosen not to center getting married or just creating a family, that they're denigrated or they're made to because there's this whole conversation, you're going to be by yourself. You don't like to create this fear of you're going to be by yourself. But when we look at people like Shannon Sharp, are we not also having a conversation dude, not only is that, how desperate are you? Why are these successful men not able to find relationships with successful women that are their same age and same cohort? To me, that is its own red flag. But I kind of also feel is this a moment of, you got your karma?
Yeah.
This is kind of like the hazard of the game you've always taken so much pride in playing.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, this is the kind of thing you enjoy doing. These are the kind of games you need to continue to play, for whatever. And I don't mean to yuck nobody's yum, but I don't know. I can't help it. This group, white women and black men, they just fetishize each other. It's almost not their, it's not that it's not their fault, but just historically there has been this crazy fetishization that I think we've always kind of suspected was the case. But when he laid all that out there, yeah, it just kind of confirms it. And then he threw it out there, and then now we got to have a conversation about it. But I think, and somebody said on my comments, actually, because I made a video about this, and they said, can y'all please leave Tracy Ellis Ross out of this? But as far as I'm concerned, I was like, all this says to me is, it helps me completely understand why she dates the way she dates. I completely get it. I completely understand. And I think it's awesome that she shared that with us, because I'm hoping it will free us as Black women to, if we want partnership, if that's something that we want, and we want intimacy like that, to open ourselves up a little bit more, and to realize that yeah, we may need to kind of widen our widen our horizons a little bit, and because I don't know, he just Shannon tried, and then all of a sudden, everything he said online or on his podcast comes back, and what you end up seeing is, yeah, he has a lot to say about why he is not remotely interested in dating somebody his own age. So I'm like, okay, so we get to talk about it,
which is another reason why I wanted to start. I'm going to start doing those weekend house parties. Because I'm a candle maker, and I told Halleck, I said, not only is there, girl, just the death and destruction of the club, I am so sorry for young folks, because the 90s and the Dos Aughts.
That's another thing. I think Shannon is he is also, Like, he is a relic of his time. Like, he is a relic of our time from the 90s, like, from that time when we were coming up as, like, young women in the 90s, like, when he was in his prime. I think he is absolutely a relic of some of the
Like, we have to start
best stuff they
having
did.
these conversations with younger women
Yeah.
because there is always this trope that's being thrown out there from that older women are jealous, they're bitter, we're seeing each other as competitors or rivals. Because you see how you're looking in the corner of the room. Let me tell y'all something. Most of the times we are passing up at the buffet what you are just now choosing to pick up. And I hate to say that, but that's kind of just how experience works.
Yeah.
Like, we've kind of been there, done that, been through some of these trials and tribulations, and many of us, we have a different interpretation of the streets than we used to, but we're here to share these lessons because didn't nobody tell us.
Can I just say,
nobody
Andy,
tell us.
the whole idea of hating on young women sounds so crazy to me because those young women are basically my daughter's peers. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like those are my little honey bunnies friends. Like, I don't want anything except the best for them. The only thing I wish I could do more for young women is to be able to turn them onto this game. To share a little bit more about what I've learned about relationships, but I can't do it till the youngest one goes off to college. I'm gonna have to save a lot of them. I gotta keep it all inside. I gotta keep it all inside. Like, but I hate that. I hate that idea or that concept that, like, we as older women are hating on young women. Like, I'm like, oh my God, no, I'm so happy and so excited for y'all. We just want y'all to be more in tune with your power, to understand how much power you actually do have from the start, to clue y'all into a lot of this stuff is ain't nothing but BS. Like, what actually makes a healthy and a whole relationship, how you don't have to contort. Okay, that's another thing we want to talk about. We want to talk about that pastor, what was it called, the It's Wifey podcast. Lord have mercy, when we saw that last week, I was like, what?
And don't get me wrong, let me get this disclaimer. You go through a lot of shades of mental illness when you find out your spouse is dealing with somebody else. So there is a part of me that when I first saw this going, you might be in the deer in headlights phase. I really was watching it intently, like, are you still in the deer in headlights phase? If something happened to you, blink twice if you need help. But when she started talking about, I would iron his clothes.
Yeah.
To go run the streets.
Yeah.
Because I just had to go through this personally myself. I was broken up. I was miserable. I was sad for a while. But let me tell you what I did not ever contemplate.
Yeah. It just made me wonder, like, girl, I forget, like, folks, sometimes we really do live in places where the folks don't have access to, like, to Black women from different, like, backgrounds and different, I don't know, we're the most educated demographic. I don't know how we don't have more access to, oh my goodness, are there a lot of comments I haven't even been able to read here?
Yeah, I was trying to get that too.
Andy, if you see some, let me know. Oh, somebody was saying that Tracy Ellis Ross has a personal life we don't know about. She may not have been able to have kids because in a spiritual sense, society doesn't expect women to tap in and own that masculine energy. Oh my gosh. Like, yeah, we are, when we saw and, like, read that, it made me, sometimes I think we are really taking massive steps forward, Andy, and we're seeing more and more people, like, deconstruct from the church, get more in tune with their own, like, their own divinity, and look at other ancestral religions. But then we see that podcast, I think it's like, Hey Future Wifey podcast. And there's this couple, they're both pastors of a church. I'm thinking around Atlanta, Andy. I could be wrong. I'm gonna look it up while we're talking about it. But she made herself famous on the internet for talking about, basically, as she's talking about all this stuff, revealing all the ways in the story of their relationship, the many ways this man let her know that he did not like her, did not find her attractive, did not have any value in her. And the way she was relating the story, basically, she said verbatim, he's sitting over there like, yeah, I did do that, didn't I? And, like, and so one of the things at the very end of the podcast, it was a very interesting conversation. One of the things the interviewer asked at the end of the podcast was like, what do you say to people that hear what you've gone through, and young women that have decided, like, they don't want that? And she was like, well, that's just why, that's the reason y'all still single. Like, this is what you have to do in order to eventually get elevated into being a wife. And so, Andy, reflecting on that, because they seem so familiar to me. I was like, this definitely feels like somebody we would have known.
Okay, but the assumption is that that's the end goal for me. because I'm very much like a lot of my feminist scholars, too many
Yeah.
to relate their names individually.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I have a daughter-in-law that is finding this out right now, and it's what many find. Women are dynamic, intelligent creatures. Being a mother is one facet of what we do, and it lasts for a season. We're going to have a whole season where we're going to be aunts and grandmothers and entrepreneurs and developing and growing into this wonderful being. So to assume that everything I do has to be defined in this one narrow role that is one of many that I have is very presumptuous. It's also presumptuous to say that's the most important, because whenever I hear women talk like this, I am confused about what you must be teaching your children.
Yeah.
Because that can't flow to me in any religion, all that stuff aside. If you are allowing someone to physically go out in the streets and to potentially bring back disease, heartache, mental health issues, and that woman can sit there praising Jesus all she wants to. If you tell me her blood pressure ain't going up, she doesn't have cardiac issues, that she doesn't have stress of her hair falling out, and I say that because I've been there.
Ashley says she's teaching it to her entire congregation. Lord have mercy.
Exactly.
Like, oh my God. Like,
that love is suffering.
Yeah.
That a marriage should be suffering for one party for the benefit of the other.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, if you are in a system, because I don't even want to say Christianity, because I don't believe
that's
half of what y'all right? It's half of what y'all say you're doing and what you're doing is not the same. So I'm not even going to attribute that to you. It is the most blaring example of gaslighting, devaluation, these textbook terms. That's what this is. And just because you put a spiritual coating on it, it doesn't make it any less than what that is. Because I cannot think of any other way to better dishonor a marriage.
Yeah.
And what a marriage means to your children and to your community, than to have that be the example that you are holding. Because basically halfway through this conversation, this man is saying he was suborning having a relationship outside of marriage, and that it was okay for him as a spiritual leader to do so.
That, Lord.
And that to me,
Andy, I have to tell you, I'm glad it came to the forefront. I'm glad we had this awful conversation, because I was like, first of all, y'all are trapped in a time warp. I know this mentality and this thinking from growing up in Southern Mississippi and growing up in the the 90s and the early 2000s, and that is over. That's a wrap. The young people are not doing that. I'm glad she did it, and I'm glad we had the conversation. Because I also want to be like, girl, this is the kind of thing our grandmother would have said. Why are you bringing the Lord into this dysfunction?
Exactly.
Why you that's what our grandmother would have said.
Look, what grandma used to say. Some of y'all say y'all got a calling. Y'all need to check call ID. That ain't Jesus. That ain't who it is.
I don't know who's talking to you. So I'm glad we had the conversation. I'm glad it came to the forefront, because I think
I want to bring up something, because a lot of people are making comments.
Yes.
Another thing we talked about is there are a list of prominent Black men: James Earl Jones, Jonathan Majors, Tiger Woods. Who else did I see? Brian McKnight. Yep. When we talk about just not that transfer of wealth, you have created this world where these children, I don't know if you've talked to Brian McKnight's children or know about that debacle.
Oh my God.
You just created this world of confusion and detachment and disassociation for these members of your community. Yeah. Right? That should have created such generational wealth in a number of communities. Because look, I'm a proponent of you love who you love.
Absolutely.
But you don't have to denigrate me to love who you love.
Yep. And Black women are constantly being dragged into the conversation.
Yeah, Tracy Ellis Ross, what it's so funny. She is doing what men have said they've done for decades.
Yeah. And there was definitely some attitude on different men on podcasts, which is another reason we need more Black women listening to we need more Black women creating podcasts. I think it was Joe Budden. I think it was Joe Budden's podcast. And he was him or one of his guests was being denigrated, so she got to go date the young pups because whatever. And I was like, oh my God, no. It's just that a lot of y'all are trifling. The reason we even know
and trapped. in this
Yeah.
craziness.
So Andy, this is bringing a spiritual element to this because me and Andy were like, what is it that black men are like? What is it that they are going through that perhaps is epigenetically like encoded? Like I was like, because I swear this stuff, like listening to this stuff about Shannon Sharp, like me and Andy were like Andy and I went through, I don't know why we did this, Andy. Why did we start watching the Mandingo movies when we were
Oh my God, because y'all, there is this whole subgenre
that fell into our laps. I don't know how this
think of blaxploitation, of slavery, but not from black people's perspective. Like I don't know how to explain.
Like people had the books in their houses. Like we knew people, like the black community had these books in their houses. I don't know how we got those first movies.
And Blockbuster, which to date ourselves, had the movie Hallicue, because Hallicue would watch. Hallicue was a Sundance in indie world before anybody was ready for it in Mississippi. So Hallicue brings home Mandingo, and all I know.
We had seen every movie the Blockbuster had. I don't know how we made it over to the blaxploitation section.
So plot twist. Mandingo, of course, is exactly who you probably mentally think he is. He's on a plantation. The master's wife falls in love with Mandingo. Relationship ensues, and Mandingo ends up in a boiling pot.
Just horrible.
Not funny, but horrible. How old was I? 9 till you was 12. Black girls from Mississippi watching this going, WTF, before that was a thing.
It was, yeah, I don't know why those books were popular. We were definitely dating ourselves, but like
it was definitely, they were based on sex and these very hyper sexualized tropes
that we still see. I'm sorry, we still see that are played out in something like this gross Shannon Sharp situation, this situation with Kanye and Kim, and the way he's now like on here talking about her and talking about how he's keeping my black children. And I'm like, Kanye, you the one that like.
I think there is something that black women have learned. There probably was a time in society where we try. No, I don't, because I think we are built different. And I just think genetically, because I think that there really is this desire for black men to want to step into the place of white men, right? Like the idea is that to be successful is eventually I will be like this billionaire, right? I'll be rich enough. I can be handsome. I'll be rich enough. If the white woman is going to let me know I'm handsome, that I'm successful, that I've made it. I think that's still a trope. Right? I think there is still a trope, and I hate to say this, white women, I think sometimes y'all are manipulated with this trope of, ooh, there's this forbidden, something daddy didn't let me have, something that I wasn't supposed to have, which is really a con for you too, because it's a way that men trap you into certain situations as well too. I think that black women had to clue in real quick that, like, first of all, I can't be you, right? I can't be you, and to emulate you is going to cut off a piece of my humanity. Right. And I don't mean that in a negative way, because you have to think about the times that we were living in. And this is all under the overlay of racism. Yeah. I think that as we begin to wake up, as we begin to say, hey, Shannon Sharp, we read this book before, we saw this movie in Blockbuster 20 years ago, you need to go hear yourself. You might want to go have some conversations about why you don't love yourself enough, that you think that you're, because Chad Ochocinco does the same thing. Black women wouldn't talk to me, black women. It sounds like 1 or 2 women that you dated did something to you, and who knows, it could have been your mother, it could have been your sisters, it could have been cousins, it could have been folks you went to school with. Mm-hmm. There's a process that you went through that broke you, that you didn't fix yourself from. And we can't help you because you hurt us when we try to help you.
Because we're supposed to, in healthy relationships, we're supposed to move away from things and people that hurt us. Like the betraying ourselves over and over, like is not what it is sad. I haven't heard Ocho say that before. His ex-fiance is black and his children are black. He knows.
He talks a great deal about how he was rejected by women of color when he was first in the NFL, and then when he started to make money, women used to fall all over him. And that was a thing with the whole relationship with the basketball wives on. That was the thing. And it was
Does that
something he
sound
took with him for a
does that
while.
sound completely antithetical to everything you have ever witnessed in your life? Like basketball and football players when we were coming up in high school and in college had a problem with the attention of Black women? Like, that's crazy. That's just crazy to me. I ain't never heard that.
It was like they felt like they were rejected because either they were too dark or they had certain features. And I guess the thing that irks me about that is,
Okay.
first of all, who were you talking to? Like, who were you holding up on a pedestal? Was that was that woman that you had to have? But
thank you, Cap, for liking the live. Thank you.
does that not mirror the same experience we've had?
Yeah, it doesn't sound like anything I saw as a Black girl growing up in public school in Mississippi. There was no shortage of Black girls that would not have been like that. Like, of course, we liked our own basketball players, our own football players. That's crazy. That's like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not.
Well, I would tell you my son, and he's going to be mad when I tell his business. Hopefully his wife isn't watching. But when he was in high school, my son is an Aries. He got some Chongo energy.
Yeah.
He was good looking to do it.
Yeah.
There was this phase, and teenagers try on different personalities. They may come home one day and try to be like Alex P. Keaton, and I'm a Republican today, and you have to remind them, like, no, you're not. I just have to explain.
She says, shout out to Aries. Shout out to Aries always.
They are. Yes. Y'all bring the fire.
Our fire starters. Yes.
As a fire sign myself, I love it.
Yeah.
But there was a phase when he was in high school, and I could tell that it was probably a group of Black, because I knew the girl he was in love with, there was a Black girl.
Yeah.
She was biracial.
I remember her. She was one. Oh, she had those beautiful hair.
And she found out about some of the stuff that my son was running around doing, and not running around doing, but the fact that he thought a lot of himself.
Yeah.
And I got the clear, distinct picture from his description that it was a group of sisters that was like, you need to pipe down. So, that was kind of giving him a little bit of humility around who he thought he was approaching that friend group, which I was like, first of all, yay friend group, yay sisters, like, way to get around your homegirl and be like, hey, she different. And we'll see you treat girls a certain way, and we're going to hold you accountable. But there was a while where he tried to fall into that, Black girls, because, I always gave my kids a hard time. I was like, this is the thing.
Yeah.
I would never tell you who to love, but everybody gets an application. If I see you starting to only accept certain types of applications, I'm going to ask questions, right?
Right.
And so it sounded like he was starting to close his application window. And I was like, look, it's different to say Black women are difficult versus they being difficult to you.
Yeah.
Let me say that again.
Yeah.
Are Black women difficult, or are they difficult to you?
Yeah.
Is it your approach?
Yeah.
Is it how you're coming at women? Do you come at Black women differently when you come? So for me, it was just kind of a thing of, I had to have a conversation with him. You can close off opportunity by not understanding that when we share community, I might hold you to a different standard. I'm going to notice things a little differently. Yeah. I am a woman that grew up with girls.
Yeah.
So as I've raised my boys, I've made them hypersensitive to what the things they do, how it lands for women.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I know they live in a world that's the opposite. And when I say hypersensitive, I have to be over the top with it, because their patriarchal world that they're automatically going to get a pass into is going to be hyper vigilant the other way. Yeah. So that's why me and Key wanted to have this conversation, because I think it's important for us to talk through it. Yeah. And I by any means don't want to be right.
Yeah.
I really hope this is an opportunity that our brothers, our sisters will hear us and help us start to hear each other.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, we got to stop making choices out of pain.
Yeah. Well, I know if I have anything to do with it, in general, again, I do not speak on men folks' business, their spiritual path, their way, the way they get into connection with their own divinity. I have so little experience with it, but this notion of Black women and us being satisfied with or only expected to or expected to be happy with a low level of sadness like a low level of pain, expecting to be hurt, expecting to be betrayed, uh, uh, expecting to have to always be like in addition to not ever to get the opportunity to be soft or to be, or to be cherished. Them's days are over. Okay. That in itself is its own kind of slavery. And I understand completely why everybody got used to it, because we were just given our labor. We just accepted that that's the way it was. And hallelujah, things are changing. The young women are talking to each other. I think there's going to be some development of healthier like young men's communities and repudiating a lot of this toxic masculinity stuff. Give me 1 second, guys. I have to that are the same. Select two objects that are the same shape. Wait, three.
And look, if some of you younger ones are having those experiences too, where you come across folks who feel like they're being judgmental, you feel like, you're not able to have these conversations, come find us.
Yeah, we love
That's what me and Hallie do.
about it. We love John about it. Andy's going to be do we have something fun to look forward to?
Yes.
Like
so since I have heard that the club has died, unless you have $500 or more.
Girl, we're about to have a market retraction. That stunt queen that y'all.
So we can go back to rent parties.
Yeah.
Because your girl got a divorce to pay for, and we got some candles to hustle. So on Saturday nights, we're gonna be in my kitchen. Yes. I got my own crib now.
Yeah.
We will be making candles. And we will be playing some dope music.
Yes.
Based off of our candle making journey. So y'all know I make intentional candles. If you haven't been to the website, we're working on some candles that actually reflect some of these things that we're talking about. So I'm excited.
What, Andy? What's the name of what you're working on right now?
And transitions.
Yes.
So my first candle, because I can't curse, is called Itch. With you in front of it, Itch, I might need bail. And it's a candle that has a very smoky undertones with hints of maybe Hennessy and bourbon. Perfect candle to light to remind your friend what can happen if you do burn down the ex's house. Yeah. But on the flip side, it could also be a candle that you send to your friend to let her know, hey, bitch, I'll ride with you. Exactly. I'll drive.
And see, this is the way we ritualize and we work through processing emotions.
Righteous anger.
Exactly.
Black women, have to honor that.
We get to experience that. We get to experience and work through anger. We actually get to do it. I think this is going to be one of these things over the next 4 years. Like, yeah, we're doing it. And I like the idea of a candle that it has a theme like that we burn when we're dealing with that, because that's a way to help us work through it. This happens, and you need a way to work through it so that hopefully you don't end up with a charge.
And hey, look, I have a very special playlist. I'm not a DJ by any means, but I'm actually sharing the actual playlist, my FU playlist, that got me through, that I actually played in the house when I was going through my separation every day. And we're going to share our stories. We're going to share the crazy shit, the windows we stood outside of. Yeah. We're going to talk about the car tires that we punctured. We're going to talk about the windows that we broke. We're going to talk about it because I think sometimes we have this stigma around, I don't want to discuss these things because they're embarrassing. They represent when I got fooled or taken advantage of. And the thing is, when we close up, we give the people who did those things to us, we give them our power.
Yeah.
And we have to take that back. Yeah. And we have to be honest in sharing these stories, because if we can take the shame and stigma out of it, they don't roll over us anymore, and we can heal. Yeah. We can move through them.
Yes.
And I think you learn more often than not. Even the baddest bitches have been through it. We don't all feel like bad bitches every day.
I can't wait to see the first one. I like to credit myself with having bullied my sister into starting a candle business, because the candles she made were so amazing. That's so kind. Thank you. Your flightness. I'm so happy to have my sister here with me. And the next time we go live, we're going to be talking about Andy will have had a house party, and I want y'all to please, Dee the Queen. Andy, say hi to Dee the Queen. Dee, hey! This is my sister Andy. She and I, when we are together on Beyonce's internet, we're not just Tallulah Ohoyo, we're not just Halleck. We are the new Hoodoo. and we wanted to come on. And D is one of my absolute favorites. And we wanted to come on and because there were so many like hot topics we like wanted to talk about this week. Sometimes on the podcast. Oh, Andy D says hi. She says hi. He says hi in the comments. And Capricorn Cap is back. Capricorn Gardner. Andy, you're gonna love Capricorn Gardner. Y'all should follow each other.
Oh, we have already been chitty chatting about the new garden I'm setting up. So side quest. My new planter came today, so I'm going to be making my planter. I'm making an urban garden on my balcony. So
I'm gonna have, and Cap, I want you and Andy to critique me as we grow. You know, your brother-in-law wants to do a garden this year. We're going to the garden store next year. I mean, we're going to the garden store.
Y'all need to. Not only do you have a perfect place for it, you have to let go of the idea of the perfect garden.
No, it's just when your sister's a master gardener. I just feel like
I make comments. You asking questions, and I give you.
I mean, poor Andy's like, okay,
so the Capricorn garden will know this. We had a little rose mildew problem, and my sister didn't believe me, which turned into a huge infestation.
Yeah, and it killed
her yard.
Rose bushes. I didn't.
And so she hired a rosarian who came and told her the same thing her sister told her.
But I understand how important it is, and this is something that's very important for Black women to do. Now it's time for us, and we should, if you do have your own land. We don't know what the heck we're going to be dealing with over the next 4 years. So it is, and it's a way for us to stay connected to the earth. I'm not very outdoorsy, but I can handle a garden. So hopefully by the time Andy does her first, and I know, right? Your flying is like, she says fact, he says facts. They say facts. So Andy will have had hopefully her first house party that we're gonna support. I'm excited about that.
We're gonna do it on Saturdays. I'm shooting for probably around 9-10 o'clock Central Time.
Nice.
So
and
we
y'all
can catch a couple of times.
Her process and see how she makes the candles. The process itself is like her process.
I'll be telling some of Halakou's breakup stories as well too. So if you're interested in hearing some of those, that'll be great too.
Oh my gosh, girl, we should do a Mississippi memory. I can't wait for you to see Sinners. Okay, Andy, I actually have a question that has to do with.
I'm going Monday. I'm going after work.
And then we're gonna get up. Oh, Kat, thank you so much. Oh, Kat, thank you so much. Kat, thank you. And we're gonna so that our next one we're gonna be reviewing Sinners. Andy, so Andy and I are both neurodivergent. I have a question to ask. Can movies be spoiled for you? Do you know what I'm saying? Like if you watch all
for me, because I've got a little bit of the tism with my ADHD. Yeah. I like to be.
They just your flightness said she just started last night. Not really. Yeah, me. I can't. Things don't get spoiled for me. Keep going. Tell me.
So I'm the person that has to take the paper off the new thing. So I'm like that. Me and Cameron noticed that about each other. Like things can't be spoiled for me. Like I don't want to know anything. I've been skipping across TikToks if I can. But there's certain things that like because I've been such a geek of the movie.
Yeah.
Like I've been clued. So there's parts of the story I know. So it just depends on. Like, you ain't got to go into crazy detail, but go ahead and say whatever you're going to say. I'll do this if it gets to be too much.
Okay, so Cap says that she hasn't seen it, but heard all the spoilers. Like, I had no problem watching spoilers. I can know every spoiler, and I feel like that's great. So now when I watch it, I can focus on little details. You know what I mean? Like, I can focus on themes and details and color. I feel like when I go into it, I have an idea of what's going on, and I feel like I can prepare myself to enjoy it. All I'm gonna say is y'all are good. Like I can totally still watch it. Like nothing gets spoiled for me. I don't particularly, that's something else too. As I get older, I do not like surprises. I wonder, Andy, do you think that has to do with trauma? Do you like surprises?
Oh my gosh. The crazy shit about menopause, I blame everything on menopause now because apparently it's the root of most things. Like the fear of driving, I wouldn't be surprised if that's part of it.
Oh. But you're gonna love it, Andy. All I'm gonna say is you're gonna love it. Michael B. Jordan. I keep forgetting that Michael B. Jordan. You remember? Did you ever watch The Wire?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay, Andy. So that's where we first came across Michael B. Jordan, and he was this little boy named Wallace. Like Wallace was a little, little B boy.
Everybody loves that show.
He has turned into the. I never really found. Yes,
did you hear about him talking about the Babaloa?
Yes,
and how he got his name?
So he Wait, so he
I
himself is a
think he
Bible?
said my. I think he said someone did the voice like thing, and he said my. He got the
Baba
name
Lao.
from my, yeah, and
Baba
my
Lao.
mom.
Oh,
Like,
okay,
so
because I was
it's,
like, I wouldn't be shocked. But that man is
well, if
so
I found that out,
beautiful.
I might go run. And I got sketchy about Michael B. Jordan because you remember for a little part of his career there was some.
What?
Well, there was just kind of some. There's always this conversation. Do you prefer black women? Do you
Oh
not? And I
God.
think that's kind of
Okay.
unfair
Yeah. Yeah.
to a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
I just to ask
Yeah.
young how you not over the course of your life you may date lots of different people. I just think it's unfair. But it was
Yeah.
way back in his career, and I really liked the way that he handled it, which was. He
Yeah.
kind of was like, look, my mama's black. People in my life, like, what are you talking about? Like, that's ridiculous. He kind of
Yeah.
just always was like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, and
You don't have
I
any
do remember him
foundation to
dating
that.
Lori Harvey, and I remember him
Yeah.
looking sad after Lori Harvey like moved on. I remember that. Oh, thank you all. Oh, thank you all.
But I've
for coming on.
always,
Thank you.
I just always, since Fruitvale Station, I've been really happy for the opportunities gotten.
Yeah.
I just have not been, like, I wasn't a big Rocky fan. So, like, Creed wasn't a thing.
Girl,
for
you know
me.
who has watched that entire series? Your little scary Scorpio niece. And I
Creed?
used, yeah, Reese, like Creed, yeah, the whole new thing.
They
And I
do
remember
like a little violence.
I mean, and I remember thinking, yeah, she's Scorpio. But I remember thinking, like, I wonder why she likes this. And then, girl, this is the first time I've been looking at
Oh, now we know why she watched it.
since he was a Killmonger. Oh,
Killmonger.
girl, do you remember when he was Killmonger in the
Yeah.
spiritual realm in the second movie?
Yep.
Oh my goodness! Like, yes. Then I was like, oh, I see exactly why a young teenager.
They did it for me. Black Panther did it for me. I was like, that turned the time back. So
I know. Sometimes villains gotta have reasons.
a revolutionary and you fallen and you looks. Yes.
Bury me in the ocean for my ancestors.
I was, as a Marvel fan, I was torn. That whole movie, I was like, I want to be good, but I want to be bad. I want to be on the mountain soon with what's his name. I want to be with Winston. I want to be with all the groups. Put a ring in my lip. where can I stay? I'm not a rhinoceros. It don't matter.
God. Oh, girl. Okay.
So that's why I want y'all to know. When y'all hear me say I'm upset with my brothers, my sister can testify to the fact I have a strong preference toward my brothers. Y'all be acting crazy sometimes now. But Black Panther for me was a physical and emotional conundrum.
Yes. My sister literally named her truck T'Challa. Like, Andy went out. I used to call it her midlife crisis truck. She bought this big, beautiful black F-150. I was like, what kind of projection? What's happening right now? She got a personalized plate and named it T'Challa. Like, I was like, girl, what we doing?
Look, I got a motored out license plate. It's all black.
Like, what are we doing?
I love my truck.
I know.
That's the one thing I wanted my marriage. Like, I'm keeping my truck.
Yeah, the truck is beautiful. It is a work of art.
You haven't heard Tanner Adele's song? I got a new FU-150.
No,
you need to listen to it.
I like the Buckle Bunny. Girl, how are we gonna get to Cowboy Carter? Let's talk about that. We gotta go, Andy. We gotta go, but I don't know how we're gonna go. Like, the tickets are just prohibitively
I already gotta go to Germany so my baby can go see Kendrick.
I want to go, but I feel like
she's supposed to be making some big announcement in a couple of days. Is that happening?
Maybe she'll be announcing some more like dates, because I didn't even know if she was even coming to San Francisco.
That they don't think that Cowboy Carter is the full album. That they think there's another part, and not the part 3, but the like actual act 2 has another part. I don't know if that's true. There's lots of theories.
Beyonce is very good for coming through during times of market retractions or in times of
Shoot, I just want a ticket in case you decide to put us all on the spaceship when everything go down. I just want to. I would have the right combination of merch that I get picked up.
I would
in case stuff goes south.
Yeah, I don't know, girl. I was still like, I didn't know the concert was starting so soon. So apparently it's starting tomorrow.
It's summer,
yeah, Cowboy Carter.
There's supposed to be an announcement of some type, maybe today or tomorrow. Though at the first day of the concert, there's been a countdown on one of these websites.
Oh, okay.
So.
Okay. All right.
I don't do the watches.
Somebody said, oh, no, wait, this is T actually. Somebody said, who said this? Is this Cat?
Tickets are cheap in Missouri.
In Missouri. Hi, Richo Shun. Hello. Hello, Shun. Hello. Tickets to tickets are cheap in Missouri. You might want to try St. Louis. Like we got so spoiled. Andy got us tickets for Renaissance in Texas. Oh, thank you. Oh, sure. Thank you. Oh, thank you.
She had a lot of dates though. Like I feel like Renaissance compared to Cowboy Carter.
Yeah,
it was a lot of dates.
Well, I sure would. I don't know how we gonna not go. I mean, but at the same time, when I first saw those tickets, and I know you were trying your level best, like to you were having good executive function that day, girl. I don't know how you actually got into the queue and all that.
We did that. Well, because it's like Disney stuff. It's very
like
much like
$2,000. Like, girl, because what I was seeing was like $1,500, $1,400,
and not that amount of money to stand up.
Yeah, like
that's what I could
in the back. Like we were spoiled. We had you got us great tickets for the Houston
by accident
show.
Too. Look, we went to the concert, y'all.
Yeah,
we went through one door like normal people because we bought tickets that were more expensive than I've ever bought before, but they weren't crazy, right? Like they were
they were very good. They were very good seats. Like our
sisters actually sat closer, but were on the floor. We walked through one door. We walked through a second door. They had a person standing by the door. How would you turn around and look at me and say, "Girl, how much money did you spend?"
I know. I was like, "How much did you spend on these tickets?"
I said, "How much money I spent?" I didn't think but we ended up sitting on the level where the suites are during the game, so we actually had
it was lovely. It was.
We're not standing in line for a restroom or whatever, but in our burger has a shit ton of seats.
Me and Andy gonna have to put up we're going to put up some pictures of Renaissance. Every time I think about us that night, like not us trying to get home, but the night we were trying to get.
Girl.
So we went. So we have triplet sisters. So two of our sisters went the second night, right? And we went the first night. Girl, one of the worst arguments I've had with your brother-in-law in a long time was about apparently I fucked around and turned off the location trying to figure out how to drop a pin, and your brother-in-law was mad at that location. That location was off for like overnight.
Now, while he's worried about us and his fine wife, we literally are sitting on a hill trying to direct our sisters to where we are, yelling at each other, drop a pin. It's just like that.
It turns out we don't know how to drop a pin.
Neither
one of us. And I effed around and turned off location accidentally.
And then how would you start snapping in? Would you drop a pin? I'm like, okay, well, you drop a pin. So you drop it, and I'll drop it.
Oh, girl. It was rough. But we had such a good time. I really hope
it was so much fun. Trail burgers.
I really do. I hope we get to go. All right, y'all. We're gonna roll. Thank you all for hanging out with us. I know that's true. Andy's got to go to work. I got to eat something.
I did wear my White Lotus pajamas. We will be having a conversation about White Lotus as well too.
That's true.
Because I also think White Lotus is a cautionary tale to young women who are out chasing these rich men in strange countries. But what's my girl's name? Get your money, girl.
Oh, with your Belinda? Yes. Belinda got her money. Hallelujah. That was because I at the end of the second season, I was like, everybody could have avoided all this if somebody had kept their promise to that Black woman.
And yes, you can take me to Zion, young man. So if you're interested,
he's cute. He's a good looking young man. And that also is a tale of failing upward. Like the gentleman that was a horrible security guard just kept failing up.
There are two quotes that white women have made as Southerners. Like, first of all, Posey, you better get an Emmy.
Yeah, Parker. Y'all know Parker's from down the street from where we live. Parker's from Laurel, Mississippi.
Because you deserve an Emmy, because you made me step back into my childhood. But that girl and Haley Seinfeld and Sinners, that one preview where she goes, "I'm gonna kill every last one of you." I was like, "Oh my God, you worked on that accent." Yeah, I don't know how she is in the whole movie. I hope she didn't have a terrible Southern accent, but there are just some Southern women phrases that have come out that just in that movie that was just too much.
She was. I thought everybody acquitted themselves well. Now at this point, I feel like Ryan Coogler can't do anything wrong. And Andy, so I now have a new person. You know how like I have my Venus is in Gemini. So I love when somebody, like if a man is smart, like that, like the sound of like sometimes the sound of somebody's voice is very.
Love the way he talks.
I love the way he talks. You know who I used to love the way they talk until I realized, you just can't be listening to certain music or certain people talk because they're ridiculous and you just listen to like T.I. I used to love the way T.I.'s voice sounds. Like I love the way Paul Wall's. Have you seen the new Paul Wall song?
Yes. Send it to my grandbabies. with Gracie in the back with her with her
Yeah,
stereo.
it's the wheels on the bus.
Yeah.
Like, I love the way Paul Wall talks. I can listen to him talk, and now Ryan Coogler is that new person. Like, I could just listen to him talk all day and hearing that California accent.
And I'm
talk
such a
about the
blur.
blues.
I don't know why my sons won't get, like, they're gamers, but they won't get into the Comic-Con, like, let's go cosplay, let's go hang out.
Yeah.
He's
Andy you would love to cosplay. Who would you cosplay if you could?
Oh, Storm? Girl.
Storm? Okay. You should. Why don't you?
Wait, I got excited and lost my headphones.
Yeah, girl, I'll go with you. I don't know how to cosplay. I mean, if it's just an outfit, like, I'll go with you.
Okay, 2 people that I would do automatically off top. Okay. Storm, any generation of her life, whether she's young Egyptian with hair shaved on the side, all white, and especially since my hair is actually like turning white, I would absolutely do that. Yeah. Second one I would do is the source. Well, this is DC, and I'm not really a big DC fan. Yeah. Harley Quinn, any particular time, I think would be an amazing one. Another one that I actually love. Did you see Suicide Squad?
No.
There was another character in there called
Storm. Yes,
the Sorceress.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, Storm would be my number one absolute. I would love to cosplay as her.
Oh yeah, I wish one of us. I'm surprised that like some of the younger sisters aren't into stuff. I would love that. You would be.
I love Rogue too from X-Men. Was also a huge series that I loved. So
did you? Are you watching the Penguin?
No, I did. People say it's really, really good. I'm not watching The Penguin, but one thing I think I want to go back and watch? Luke Cage was really, really good.
Oh, okay.
Some of the more. I just watched Deadpool and Wolverine. With all that stuff going on with Blake Lively, I really wanted to enjoy it because I thought I liked Deadpool and I like Wolverine, that whole series. I'm really excited about what I think they're going to be able to do with the new X-Men series now that they're revamping that, right? Like now that because in the new movie they're bringing back Patrick. They're bringing back everybody from the old X-Men series that was there.
I always loved X-Men.
And Fassbenders are still going to be there too. So they're trying to find a way to kind of keep some of the original stuff. So, yeah.
Well, I know this is DC, but I saw that there's going to be a new Superman movie. That was in the preview for Sinners, like the new Superman movie.
And Superdog's going to be in it, or whatever his dog's name is. So that CGI on that was really cool.
And I saw, and I watched the Penguin on the flight back. So maybe when you go to Germany, maybe you can binge it. Well, all right.
But they say I hope that Ryan makes this into his own version of Blade. If they would let this be like a series, because I saw this fan thing of like him having a whole Marvel universe with Sinners.
Yeah,
I think because vampire arcs. I mean, can you imagine New Orleans if he did one now that he's done Mississippi?
Yeah. Oh God, girl. Like, I think he did so many things, and y'all know, like, this really touches like this. If you're from Mississippi, I would love. Actually, I think I may do a video asking people just if you're from Mississippi and you saw this movie, can you please chime in and talk to me about it? Because Andy, the way they showed like the beautiful like haint blue and
there's some very beautiful parts.
Yeah, like I was born outside of outside of Sidon Plantation in LaFleur County, Mississippi. Like our dad lived in Clarksdale for a little while. One of my favorite pictures of me and Andy is we're in our little JCPenney outfits. We were going to visit our dad for like a weekend, so we had our little best outfits on in front of a cotton field. Like I don't know, I just thought he did this. I thought the music was wonderful. I don't know. I thought it was.
I love blues from way back. Woo!
Yeah, I was crying. Like Josh was like, I knew you were gonna. I was like, I don't know how I'm not supposed to start crying when we're talking about conjuring spirits from the past. And it was just, some of the stuff is already.
And I have loved her since Lovecraft Country. Oh, man, she is beautiful.
So my brother-in-law, when he came out, he was like, "Hun,
that big beautiful."
He's like, "Why is she so beautiful?" Like he goes, "No, really, her face is beautiful, but it's in a way." And he was like, "Was she?" I was like, "Yep, Lovecraft Country." He goes, "Like, she is like otherworldly, like beautiful, like a
Beautiful.
goddess. And I was like, yeah, no, she is. Was she the character that would transform from the butterfly?
Yeah.
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 That was
She was the one who would like peel out the skin.
yes.
And yeah.
They were saying that they really wished that somebody was saying they wished that he could have that, like he could own Lovecraft Country. I guess it ran its
well, they wanted, it became too successful, but they did not want to compensate her in a way that was going to fulfill her vision of it. And so I thought she was going to be able to go to Netflix, because right after that, the thing was, oh, you know, she's going to be able to go to a private streaming service, but HBO wouldn't sell her the rights. They wouldn't give up the rights because they knew that they had you know, that's one of those kind of things where I think karma takes care of it, our ancestors take care of it on their own, because who else is going to make that series after?
Who else could do it.
Yeah.
He is just he's a genius. He was the Michael B. Jordan as twins was amazing. You're gonna love it. And so Andy and I are definitely gonna review it.
I can't wait.
The spiritual themes
my 16-year-old thought he could go, but my 10-year-old was gonna be freaked out. So
10-year-old is probably too much. And I don't like gore. I don't like a lot of blood and stuff, but it was exceptional. So,
I like the genre of African American people in horror movies. So I am interested to see what it's gonna be like from the stick, because like even just that whole interchange of him with the cornbread at the door. Yeah, like I was like, oh, that's no ma'am. Hey, no, why can't you come inside? It's your house. I was like, to finally have a true portrayal of what that conversation would be.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to work to get us.
Yeah, it was a girl. There were just so many amazing touches. Like, I don't know if you ever remember Mom talking about, like, every now and then she's like, I sure could do it a hot tamale, like, and she would talk about how
them hot things that make her lips swell up. Yes.
Yeah, but they had anyway,
hot links. Hot links. Hot tamale was a brand name, but hot links.
No, but it was hot tamale. No, literally, it was a thing. Hot tamales in the Delta. It was a
those.
But they had like just in the outbuild. Anyway, it was beautiful. I can't wait to hear what you think about it. All right, girl, we better go. I got to get something to eat, and we got to watch this. We got to watch the show.
Good girl. It's 11 o'clock.
We did it, though, Andy. We did it. We figured out how to go live, and for me to how to add a guest. Yay! Thank you for my sister gets frustrated with me because we're trying to work on the tech. We went live to the tube that is you, so you all can go check that out. And here, good night, everybody. Thank you for conversation. We're gonna get smoother and smoother. Y'all follow my sister. Thank you for hanging out with the new Hoodoo tonight. And love you, Andy Pandy.
Love you too.
Love you. Good night, girl.
Bye.
Bye. All right. And now I got to turn us off on YouTube.
Okay. Do I need to wait, though, for the